Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. Today I'd like to talk about my top 5 sleepers for 2022. I think that with reselling slowing down, a lot of sneakers that typically would have sold out instantly kind of sat around for a while, and some of them really surprised me. I think there was a lot of heat that was pretty easy to get this year, and I don't mind that, but I was just surprised by that. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at my top 5 sleepers from this year. All right, and before I get started, I think I need to give an honorable mention to just Air Trainers across the board, whether it's Air Trainer SC, Air Trainer 1. I was really surprised, and I guess it told me a lot whenever the Travis Scott Air Trainers dropped and nobody got them, and they dropped below retail, and they're still sitting below retail. I think that was finally what got through to me. People just aren't into Air Trainers like I am, and I heard somebody say that it was basically just a silhouette for old heads, and I think that might be the case. I think if you didn't see Bo Jackson play back in the day, McEnroe back in the day, then you might not really be into the Air Trainer like somebody like me is. And that's fine, but I didn't put them on the list just because I realized there is no hype for Air Trainers. It was a great year for Air Trainers, and I grabbed a bunch of them. I don't think Air Trainers really appeal to the masses, and that's just fine. I'll keep grabbing them and I'll keep rocking them. I'm a big fan of them, but that's an honorable mention for this list. Now, getting into my first pair, I couldn't believe that these were as easy to get as what they are. Of course, this is the Fire Red Jordan 3, and this is the first time that it's come out this close to the original since 1988. I mean, these things are dope as dope can be. It doesn't get more OG feeling than this. This is actually a GS pair. I just grabbed this pair because it was closer to the top, and honestly, I would have had to dig to find my pairs of them. I haven't worn them yet, but I think these are absolute fire. I love the color blocking on this. I really like 3s. People are saying that 3s are going to be the next big thing, but then you have an OG sitting and nobody really pays attention to it. People were actually calling these bricks. And I remember when the Fire Red 4s dropped a year or two ago, a lot of people didn't go crazy for them immediately either, but now I think those are pretty expensive if you try to get them on the resale market. But because this has the OG Nike Air on the back, because this is just such a classic shoe and it just brings back crazy memories of watching Michael Jordan play, this is definitely on my list of biggest sleepers for 2022, the Fire Red Jordan 3. And next up, we're going to go with a much lesser talked about shoe. This is a Form 84 Low. I could have put this or the High in this colorway up. I think they called these the Form 84 Low LGs. And at first I didn't know what that stood for, but I was told by several people on the channel that it stood for Little Goat, like the little greatest of all time. But I think this colorway is so good. The materials on these things are so good. The Form 84, both the low and the high, it's one of my favorite silhouettes. I wear these a lot. This might be the only one from my list that I've been rocking a good bit, but I think these are so easy to style, and they have such a unique retro look to them, along with quality that is just insane. For the price point, the quality really can't be matched. It's kind of like New Balance type quality for the $100 price point. But I saw this pair and I saw the high pair go on sale on multiple different foot sites, and I was just in shock because I think these are incredible. The style is dope. I'm a huge fan of this baby blue or Carolina blue, university blue, whatever you want to call it. But I just think these things are dope on so many levels, and I really think that overall, the Forum 84 silhouette is really still being heavily slept on. I don't know if the masses will ever really go for these or not. And to be honest, I don't mind if everybody continues to sleep on them, because I like being able to grab them. I like being able to add them to the collection. They're affordable. The quality is insane. And you don't see everybody else wearing them. So this is number 2 on my top 5 sleeper pickups of 2022. I like to think that I have good knowledge about what's going to be popular, what's not going to be popular, what's going to be hard to get, what's going to sell out immediately, that sort of thing. I was absolutely shocked that these sat as long as what they did. I don't know, it wasn't too long ago that you could still go on Nike.com and get a pair of these. This is the dark powder blue Air Jordan 1 Low OG. The materials are great, and I love this color of blue. It's not quite a university blue. It's kind of more vibrant than that, but with the black mudguard going around there on a white base and then a black swoosh, black sock liner, I am still in shock that this shoe didn't just make the masses go absolutely insane. I know that the hype for Jordan 1 highs has really died down, but I think Jordan 1 lows are still pretty popular and people still get down with them. But I just don't think that it gets much better than this. And for the longest time, these were accessible and basically everywhere. Like, you could get them on Finish Line, JD, Nike.com, Hibbett, everywhere. These were just sitting. I think this style is timeless. I think it's really easy to wear. I don't know if people just don't like blue. I don't know what it is. I don't know if maybe people didn't have the funds that they had, but other shoes were selling out. And I was seriously just dumbfounded that these shoes sat for as long as what they did. They might even still be available on Nike.com, but I didn't check before this. But anyhow, I love this pair. I almost doubled up on these, but I didn't, just because I got so many pairs that I really like this year. But I do think this is double up worthy, and I think this is a shoe that's going to be really easy to wear. I think it's timeless, and the materials are just really, really good. The quality control seems like it was really, really good. I really, really like this pair. So number 3 on my list is this dark powder blue Jordan 1 Low OG. Now for the next shoe on my list, I actually like these enough that I grabbed them early before they even dropped in the US. And a lot of people said that the 2002 R Protection Pack was the sneaker of the year for 2021. I struck out on that. I think it was the Rain Cloud colorway. However, they continued to give us more variations of that Protection Pack 2002 R in 2022. I grabbed 3 or 4 different colorways. Actually, the Distress pair was one of my most worn pairs this year. I think they're really, really comfortable. This sneaker actually almost made my top 5 sneakers of 2022 list. However, in the last minute, the Bodega 9060 swept in and kind of took that spot from this pair. However, that being said, I am such a big fan of these 2002 Rs. I really like the quality of them. Not even just the Protection Pack ones, but just the basic GR 2002 Rs. I am just really impressed by the style, by the comfort, and the quality on these New Balance kicks. And the 2002 R is without a doubt one of my favorite shoes. This particular colorway, when it finally dropped in the US, it sat for a long time, and I just checked resale prices, and it does seem like people are finally starting to pay over retail prices for these. However, for the longest time, these just sat. You could go on Hibbett and get them. You could go on a bunch of different sites and just pick them up easily. I almost doubled up on these a couple of times, but again, I picked up so many pairs of shoes that I didn't really necessarily need to double up on anything. I think the colors on these are dope. I love the jagged edges on all of these. And actually, I have a pair of the 1906 protection pack shoes coming from Germany. They're actually being shipped right now. I was able to score a pair from a retailer overseas, so stay tuned for that review if you're interested. But I love everything that I've seen from the protection pack. They've really offered a lot of really neat, some pretty funky colorways and that sort of thing. But I feel like this Mirage colorway is really wearable. I love the little hits of this kind of teal color and blue along with this greenish gray color. And as far as the quality goes, it doesn't get much better than this. Like, this suede feels really great in hand, and whenever you see it in person, you can definitely tell it's really great quality. So these are number 4 on my favorite sleepers of 2022. And we've already covered some pairs that really shocked me, that they just kind of sat, and that whenever they finally dropped, there was no hype to them. The Jordan 1 Taxi, I thought that these were going to go absolutely insane. I thought it would be a difficult pickup, and I actually think I grabbed these early from GOAT because I was so worried that I wouldn't be able to get them whenever they did drop. Now, I might be a little bit biased because I am a Pittsburgh fan for everything, but we have been waiting on this shoe for years, literally for years. I don't know, whenever images first came out, I think it was of like a fake shoe, like a rep or something like that, and the masses just, you know, everybody agreed they definitely wanted this shoe. Well, then whenever it finally dropped, all of a sudden nobody wanted it anymore. People called these bricks, and the quality, in my opinion, is really good. But along with talking about this pair, I also think that shoes like the Stealth Jordan 1 highs, I think the Heritage Jordan 1 highs, I think we saw a lot of really premium quality Jordan 1 highs that everybody just kind of agreed on and said they were bricks. And I still love Jordan 1 highs. I still think that they're one of the best silhouettes out there, and I will keep on rocking them. I think that people just got really burnt out on getting so many colorways of them, but for the longest time it seemed like we never got Jordan 1 highs, and at that time everybody wanted a pair of them. Everybody would have knocked everybody down in front of them to try to get whatever colorway came out. But this past year, it just seems like nobody liked Jordan 1 highs anymore. Well, for me, I was really anticipating this shoe. This was honestly one of the only must-cop shoes for 2022 whenever I saw what was going to be released and all that. And I really think the Jordan brand did these things justice. I think these are dope. Like I said, I'm a Steelers fan, I'm a Pirates fan, so that might play into it. But on top of that, I just think this color blocking is classic. It's really easy to wear. The quality is really good on these. Every color of leather is really top shelf quality, and I just think these things are as good as it gets. So all that being said, the Jordan 1 high in the Taxi colorway is the 5th pair that I thought was heavily slept on in 2022. So that's my list of sleepers for the year. Feel free to let me know if you disagree with any of them, if you think any of these are garbage. This is just my opinion. I am by no means an expert on any of this, but these are just shoes that I was surprised they were as easy to get as what they were. Let me know down in the comments what you think the biggest sleeper of 2022 was, and I hope you all had a great year. I can't wait to see what comes in 2023. I appreciate you all watching, and I'll catch you next year. I'm out.